Hello and welcome to Unbox The Podcast. I'm your host, Sahar Palmer, holistic therapist, intuitive life mentor, and guide. If you are a new listener, this season we're exploring the power of your story, how stories we tell ourselves shape our reality, and how we can rewrite them to become who we really are. In the last few episodes, we talked about the space in between, the importance of letting go, and most recently, becoming you. What it means to trust what is unfolding and to begin realigning with your real self. So today I want to talk about something that I often see with my clients. Once they start letting go and start becoming, there is a moment where they freeze, perhaps even panic, because the next step doesn't make sense. They want clarity, they want a sign, a plan, proof. But here's the truth. You cannot see the new with the old eyes. When you've entered a new space in your life, you can't use the old logic, the old programming, or the old belief system to understand what you're going through. Your mind tries to make sense of these things by pulling from the past. That's how logic works. It uses what it already knows. It scans your memory, your lived experiences, and it tries to keep you safe. But logic is always rooted in the past, and you are no longer the same person. So the answers won't come from your old way of thinking. They'll come from a new way of sensing. Let's unpack unsensing a little bit. Logic is useful, of course. It helps us make decisions, navigate the world we live in, but it can also limit us because logic wants certainty, and certainty is built on what's already happened. But if you're stepping into something you've never experienced before, what can you do? What if what's unfolding is something entirely new? In that case, logic has no map. It has nothing to compare it to. That's why or where we get stuck. And that is exactly where intuition needs to step in. The power of your intuition. Intuition isn't guessing. It's not a fantasy. It's your inner guidance system quietly pointing you in the direction before there's an external proof. And intuition doesn't speak in words or plans. It speaks through sensations in your body, emotional responses, hunches and nudges, and a sense of rightness that is hard to explain or ignore. When we get stuck or trapped during the invasion of Kuwait in 1990, all I could hear my mind saying is, go to London, go to London. And my brother said, but how are you going to do this? And I said, I don't know, but I need to get myself to London. And eventually, that is what has happened. You just need to trust whatever you feel pulled towards. And I often hear my clients say, I can't explain why, but I know I need to do this. That is the voice of becoming you. That is the voice of the real you. Let me tell you about someone I worked with. Let's call her Sana. Sana had a great job, which was perfect on paper, good pay, respected title, flexible hours, but every morning she felt sick, heavy, and dreadful. She couldn't understand it. There was no logical reason to leave her job. But her body was speaking and her energy was shrinking. Her motivation was shrinking. She was restless. Through our sessions, she realized she had outgrown that role. It didn't reflect who she was becoming. It wasn't aligned, if you like, with the vision she was beginning to sense. She didn't have a full plan, but once she gave herself permission to trust what she was sensing, her next steps became clearer. She didn't figure it all out in her head. She felt it first in her body. That's where the truth lives. Spotting when you're using the old eyes. So how do you know if you're still trying to see the new with old eyes? Here are 5 signs. You keep saying this doesn't make sense, but you still feel drawn to it. You overanalyze instead of actually taking an action. Actions give us reactions, and the only way to gauge the way forward is by taking an action. Third, you ignore how tired and drained something makes you, or you play down how curious or excited you feel because it isn't practical. And finally, you wait for permission or some sort of external validation that this is the right way forward. Does that sound familiar? This is your mind trying to protect you. But what if you are already safe and you're just growing into something new? And evolution or growth is normal. So there is nothing to be frightened about. To live as real as you have to start sensing your way forward. If you like, the new way of seeing is sensing. Here's how. 1. Be present in your body. Notice how your body reacts to situations. Is there expansion or contraction? Lightness or heaviness? In other words, do you feel, this feels right? Or do you feel, I really don't want to do that? That's your body talking. 2. Give space for silence. Your inner voice needs quiet to be heard. Take time each day to pause. No scrolling, no noise, just you. Spend some time with you and listen instead of analyze. Number 3, journal without editing. It is important to write stream of consciousness. So ask yourself, what is pulling me right now? Or what am I drawn to right now? And let your hand write. No logic, just listen, read later, whatever is coming out of your mind. And number 4, use your imagination. Imagination isn't childish. It's creative intelligence. If you can't imagine a new life, you can't live it, let alone realize it. And this is where most people get stuck. They say, I can't see it. But what they mean is, I can't imagine it. So give yourself that permission. You are in a new space. You've got to let go. You're not who you were, and you're not quite sure where you're going, but that's okay. This is the space in between, and it's not a mistake. It's a threshold. What's being asked of you now is not more thinking, but more sensing. To feel your way forward. To trust what you're becoming is real, even though you can't explain it yet. Here's a reflection prompt. I want to leave you with a simple journaling question. What part of me is trying to use the old logic to explain something new? That's your question. Sit with it. See what comes up. Journal. And if you need a guide, I'm here. And if you're standing at a threshold that you don't know what comes next, but you feel something is shifting, let's talk. Book a discovery session through my website, and I'll help you map your story and guide you to sensing the next step that is aligned. You can also check my new ebook, Your Dreams Decoded, designed to help you awaken your unconscious and connect to your inner guidance. Thank you for joining me today on Unbox the Podcast. If today's episode helped you, please share it with someone who is in that in-between space. And don't forget to hit subscribe. I see that you're listening, but remember to subscribe. You know how the algorithm works. Until next time, I'm Sahar Hunaidi Palmer. Keep sensing your way forward and trust the story that is ready to unfold through you. See you next Tuesday. Hey, got a minute? If you're looking for genuine transformation, no fluff, this is where you start. So what makes Unbox with Sahar different? First, I make intuition practical and demystify the ambiguous. No vague advice here. No just raise your vibe talk. What you get is real mentoring that puts you in charge of your growth. Second, there is depth of experience. I've written over 11 books and mentored for over 30 years, and I've been acknowledged 3 times as one of the world's top 100 intuitives. This isn't trending content, it's grounded and proven. Third, I use stories to shift your perspective. Whether it's an Unbox the Podcast, my YouTube channel, or workshops, it feels like sitting with a wise friend who sees the real you. And fourth, I give you the map. I put you back in the driver's seat. With my BEMA method, that's body, emotions, mind, and accountability to action, it helps you realign from the inside out. One step at a time. No overwhelm. So if you're ready for real change, ready to take your power back and claim the real you, please subscribe to my Unbox newsletter and follow Unbox with Sahar on socials for continuous support. This is where you truly unbox the real you. You're not alone. Let's do this together.